All right, let's just jump right into it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the biggest ideas in tech right now, the neural network. It's pretty much the engine behind all that AI stuff you keep hearing about. And by the time we're done here, you're going to get how it all works, I promise. So, I'm guessing you've noticed this too. It feels like you literally can't go 5 minutes online without seeing the term AI pop up, right? It is everywhere, and it seems like it's changing, well, everything. But here's the thing. What's actually going on behind that big buzzword? Well, it turns out almost every single time you hear about AI, what they're really talking about is the technology that powers it. And that technology is called a neural network.
Okay, so let's get right to it. What in the world is a neural network? I know the name sounds super complicated, but the core idea is actually something you're already familiar with because it's inspired by the one thing we've all got, a brain.
Basically, you can think of a neural network as a computer system that's designed to work kind of like a human brain. It's built from all these tiny connected parts called nodes. You can just think of them as artificial brain cells, and they're all arranged in layers, working as a team to figure stuff out. And this is the real game changer. See, normal computer code is all about strict rules. A programmer tells it exactly what to do. If this happens, do that. But a neural network? Totally different. You don't program it, you train it. You show it a ton of examples, and it actually learns to spot patterns all by itself. Okay, so how does a computer learn? That sounds pretty wild, right? Well, let's use a really simple analogy to make sense of it. Picture a team of players on a field, all trying to pass a ball to score a goal. So here's how it works. The information, let's say it's a picture of a cat, that's the ball. It gets kicked to the first line of players, which are nodes. Now each player does just one tiny little thing. Maybe one player just looks for a pointy ear shape, another looks for whiskers, then they pass what they found to the next line of players. This keeps happening, with each layer adding a little more insight until the very last player goes, okay, I've seen enough, that's definitely a cat. But how does the team get good at this? How do they learn to pass the ball to the right players? That's where something called weights comes in. A weight is just how much a player trusts the pass from another player. If a pass helps them score a goal, meaning the network gets the answer right, that connection gets stronger. If it leads to a mistake, that connection gets weaker. And that process of constantly adjusting those connections, that is learning.
So you see, it's not about following some big instruction manual. It's all about learning from experience. It's just like how you learn to ride a bike, right? You don't study a textbook. You just get on. You wobble, you fall, and your brain makes tiny adjustments until eventually it clicks. That's exactly what a neural network is doing, but it's practicing with millions of pieces of data.
All right, so I know this might still feel a little bit out there, a little abstract, but here's the wild part. You are already using neural networks all day, every day. You probably just don't realize it. Let me show you what I mean. Think about it. That spam filter in your email that just knows what's junk, that's a neural network. When you talk to Siri or Alexa and it actually understands you, yep, neural network. The recommendations you get on Netflix or YouTube that are sometimes scarily accurate, you guessed it. Even your phone's camera, when it knows it's looking at a dog versus a person, and yeah, of course, the big ones like ChatGPT, it's all powered by this exact same idea. And here's the most important takeaway from all of this. For every single one of those examples, nobody programmed it with a giant list of rules. Nobody told Gmail, if an email says this, it's spam. Instead, they just fed it millions and millions of emails and said, okay, figure out the pattern. The system taught itself. And that right there is the magic of it. So why are we talking about this? Why does any of this actually matter to you? Well, because if you get this one idea, you pretty much unlock the secret to understanding almost everything that's happening with AI right now. To put it simply, neural networks are the engine. They're what's driving this entire AI explosion that we're all a part of. Without them, none of this would be happening. And when you understand this, everything else starts to click into place. You finally get why AI can suddenly do things that seems like straight-up science fiction just a decade ago, but you also get why it can be so weirdly dumb sometimes, like why it can write a beautiful song but can't figure out basic common sense. From now on, whenever you see a news story about some AI breakthrough or even a concern about AI, you'll know what's really going on under the hood. So, next time your phone suggests the perfect reply to a text or Netflix recommends a show you actually love, you'll know what's happening.
It isn't just a bunch of rigid code. It's a system that learned, just like you do. So, now that you know about the engine that's powering our world, what are you going to see differently?